Hey, what's up, guys? Hi, Crytek, how you doing? Alright, let me know if the music's too loud. So what we're doing today is we're working on monster attributes. I've got a rough plan on how I want to do this. To start with, we're going to try and implement the existing stuff, so like clairvoyant and poisonous, things like that. But I think we should have two sets of stats. We'd have the inherent stats, and then we'd have the random stats. The inherent stats would be things like weak to fire, weak to water, strong to fire, strong to water, strong to fire, water, earth, air, immune to, and I think that would add a lot more flavour to the gameplay. I'm thinking also things like this, so they can reflect damage back. They could be explode on death, regeneration, so they heal. Vampiric, zealous, fortified. I think these ones are sort of theory how they worked originally. I just gave them names. So anti-physical, anti-magic. We've also got ranged attacks, so we can do anti-ranged as well. And I think these should probably stack with the inherited stats and work like PA, MA, etc. So yeah, I guess let's get started on this. Let's jump into magnetic. Do you mean like it would pull you towards them, and slimy would be to slow down the player, something like that? Hmm. Well, funnily enough, yeah, funnily enough, we have this like kinesis spell idea for battle mages where they can do a push and pull and telekinesis and all of this other stuff. So those sort of abilities were on the cards anyway. So yeah, we could add them to the mobs. So we put the music down a little bit more. So I think the first thing we need to do is define the different types of. Oh no, it's a human NPC. We want a regular NPC. Define the type of attributes we want. NPC config. Let's add a new header. Called attributes. Now we need to define attributes. Enumerate is fine, I think. Yeah, just for typing. We call this NPC attribute type. Now there is on the NPC actually we do define PA, I believe. Yeah, PA, DR, MR. No, MA. Interestingly, although yeah, you can see there I tried to do it this way by using damage type, but I think defining them as an attribute and just setting that attribute to a static amount is fine. Otherwise, we're getting too complex. We say weak against. How weak against? Is it 20%? Is it 30%? 40%? So I think we can just define it all in one area and then just build up the effects of those attributes separately. Otherwise, this gets a lot more complicated. So let's get rid of that. We're going to have. Let's start with clairvoyant because we know that that's the ability for the NPC to see you even if you're invisible. that one's fairly simple. We have anti-magic and anti-physical, which I am calling fortified. So if you're familiar in Helrift, it comes up in yellow underneath the NPC when you hover over it. So it'd say, instead of anti-physical, it'd say fortified. We'd have that somewhere in the game menu, in the game tutorials and stuff. I just don't like the idea of anti-physical. It just doesn't sound. It just sounds too formal. The deflective, which is anti-ranged, because ranged is now a separate damage calculation, and then enchanted. I might change the name of this because it sounds like an offensive attribute, like does more damage or magic damage or something. But this one's anti-magic. Yeah, I do remember that, High-Tech, actually, which is why I wanted to do something like this, where we could have different levels. I mean, we could go with like strong, very strong. Immune is 100% damage reduction, which will probably add to boss monsters, so that you have to use certain attack type, damage types against them. Oh yeah. Clairvoyant. I would have noticed that eventually. Clairvoyant. Just checking Google. Clairvoyant. Yeah, you spelled it wrong as well. Anyway, so these are random. These are random stats. Random attributes. These are attributes that can be applied randomly to a boss, to a monster within a pit or something when they spawn. These, we had poisonous as well, which obviously OG had that. I've got some new ones. Oh, explosive. I don't know what it was called in OG, but explosive is fine. So this will cause AoE explosion on death. And I've got some new ones. So I wanted to vampiric. These are things from HP World. So vampiric life steal. So they'd heal you, heal themselves if they hit you. And Zealous, which is mana steal. And regeneration. So this is rapid healing. I don't know how these attribute. I think in OG, an attributed multiple to give you more experience, I believe. But we can do stuff like that as well, so that those challenges are worth the risk. So these ones are new. Items could be some kind mana shield on them, so you really need 2 mana drain weapons, spells to really kill the mob. Doesn't die until its mana is drained. Yeah, I'd like to have, like, I really like Valheim, and I like the way that the bosses have different, you need to use different strategies, so I'd like to do something like that. OG Hellbreath wasn't really any challenge, it was, you just get enough people and do enough damage. So yes, stuff like that would be great. But don't forget, we're also going to have the human NPCs, which will be able to cast on themselves as well. Now we're going to look at inherent. And what I mean by inherent is that the mob is defined with these stats within the configs. So if I say that, maybe I say that the golems, stone and clay golems, are strong versus physical. Every single one of them is then strong versus physical. These stats don't appear underneath the mob, but they would appear in the they would appear in the bestiary or whatever we have, Book of Monsters. So we've got weak versus physical, which at the moment I'm thinking of doing plus 25% damage, maybe 33. Weak versus ranged, plus 25% damage. And we fully qualify that it takes plus 25 damage. And then we've got all of the MA. Oh, not MA. I will be doing the MA, but this is the weaknesses. So it takes 25% air damage. Air wind. Not air wind. Air earth. Air fire. Fire water. So it takes extra damage from those elements. So when you're hunting mobs with your mage, you'll, take the right spells, or use the right spells, take the right gear that buffs those particular spell element types. So then we have strong versus. Strong. And this is where we could do different levels of strength. As you mentioned, the anti-physical and anti-magic had varying degrees of resistance, and you could never tell. Sometimes you would only do 1 damage, and it was like, oh, not another one of these ones. But I think if we have these attributes, oh, saying that, these are the inherent, it would be these ones, wouldn't it? So this would be something like minus 25% on top of the inherent stats. We could have fortified and I don't know, ballistic or something, which is minus 50% and then minus 75%. Varying degrees of random attributes, but these random attributes will stack on top of the inherent ones. Inherent ones are more mob specific. Like I say, something like a golem, which is made of stone, you'd expect it to have more PA. I wanted to make it more like, I guess it is hand holding for the player, but at least they'll know, instead of having to go to the internet and find the PA value. Anyway, I also wanted to add immune, mainly because boss monsters, I think we could do some cool stuff with that. So there's some sort of ghostly mob that couldn't take physical damage or range damage, and you could only use magic on it, something like that. God, I mean, yeah, Swift is a controversial topic. We started introducing some speed-based mechanics, like the bow drawing. So if you have a high finesse skill, the 6th skill that used to be called agility in HP World, you actually draw your bow quicker. So I'm not against having Swift style stuff. Maybe it doesn't necessarily increase their movement speed, but it could increase the attack rate and stuff. Yeah, maybe. Let's add it in here just as a placeholder. So to be confirmed. I think maybe rate of fire, rate of turn, Move speed potentially. Yep. I always feel that the PvE part should be maximally difficult and hard to push through. Yeah and no. I think end game PvE, yeah, I agree. But I think making it engaging is more important, and sometimes making it easy is a bit more engaging. Not everyone has time to do PvE, like hardcore PvE, and they might not have time to arrange to play with friends and fight bosses and stuff and run dungeons. So yeah, yes and no, I agree. Um, so I'm gonna probably I'll stick with 25. I might up that to 33. But that's what we're gonna work with, and we can chop and change these. So, for example, we could create a monster that is always clairvoyant. So these can be used as inherent stats as well. And similarly, these can be used as random if we wanted to. I think these are more to do with the bestiary. So when we were talking about having collectibles, so you collect the pages for the bestiary and unlock information about each monster. These things would show up as inherent stats to that monster. Things that are made like a walking tree, whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called now. The things that are made of flowers or trees and stuff, they should be weak versus fire. Always, every single one that spawns should be weak versus fire. So I think yeah, let's stick with that. And I want to do two things with attributes. I want to define inherent stats or inherent attributes, but I also want to define what random attributes are available as well. This way, we're not going to end up with a fortified Abaddon or Tiger Worm necessarily. Yeah, there just could be combinations that make it overly difficult, and it just gives us more granularity as well. So let's define two variables here. I'm going to call it NPC attribute type. We're going to call this inherent attributes, and we're going to call this available random attributes. So let's define a monster. Maybe we'll go with a stone golem. That's probably a good one. And we're going to give them strong against physical. Mobs, and then stone golem. So we want these to be strong versus physical, which means they take 25% reduced damage from physical, and probably also ranged. Yeah, and then we can also give them all the random ones that were in the OG, and some of our new ones maybe as well. Poisonous, explosive. Wasn't there 2 levels of explosive? I think there was a normal explosive and there's a much more stronger explosive. They're going to get fortified, deflective, and enchanted as well. Yep, so I mean I might change this, but this is just an example. Stone golems are better off being hunted by mages because they're strong against physical and ranged, so they take I've got this 50%. That might be too much, but that's 50% less damage. If they also get fortified, it would be a further 25% reduced damage from physical, and deflective would be 25 from ranged. Now I don't know if I'm going to stack that, or it's going to be 2 rounds of damage reduction. It might be easier to add it to the PA and add it to the MA or the RA, although there is no RA in the game, so might have to do it separately. But let's see, when we get into the code we can make a decision on that. Okay, so first thing we need to do is make sure the NPCs actually spawn with it. I haven't actually looked at the NPC logic for a while. NPC manager, I think it might be on the map actually. That chunk. Spawn. Here we go, spawn NPC. So spawning probably goes on the init. Nope. Initialize server, possibly. Yeah, initialize server. Because the way that Fishnet works, we need to define the properties before we spawn it onto the clients. Otherwise, we'd have to wait for that update. So let's do it in here. I'm going to create a function. Let's call it initialize attributes. And this is going to be our random attributes because our inherent attributes are fine. We also need to define get attributes, which is going to just add our inherent attributes to our randomized attributes. So this is going to return an empty attribute type. So define that, and then we're going to add the config dot attributes, inherent attributes. And then we want to set something here somewhere. Now what would be good is to synchronize these using a sync list of some sort. Perhaps if we copy something from the owner. Yeah, sync list or sync dictionary. I don't think we need to store anything about it. They're just flags. Yeah, so sync list would do fine, I think. PC attribute type attributes. So read permission is all observers. Oops. So anyone nearby to it will receive this information. Although, oh no, we only need the random attributes here because this is just for display purposes for the observer. All the server-side logic will use the get attributes function. So let's define some. How many attributes do we want? I think there was just 1 in OG, wasn't it? And potentially we could give more. I know Diablo does something like that. Let's start with 1 and go from there. It's a list so we can have as many as we want. And maybe in harder areas, if we define areas with difficulty levels, we could give them more. Let's go and just add one. So chance for random attribute. Let's roll a dice. Actually, we don't need to roll a dice. We could just use Unity Engine dot random dot minimum inclusive max exclusive. So we could do a 10% chance. I don't know what the chance is in the OG. AM. What's AM? But yeah, Berserk. Yeah, I think let's keep it like OG first. So there's a chance to anti-magical. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean now. Okay. Well, we can add Berserk. Berserk is kind of separate, isn't it? Really. It's a separate category of attribute that the monster can spawn with. So maybe these are maybe to stay with OG's design. Let's have it as a separate category and a separate dice roll, and then maybe change it later. Spawn status berserked. So spawns berserked. I don't know what the chances is. Is it 5%? Let's keep it high for now so that we can see them easier when we're testing. So if there's a 10% chance that we're going to start with a random attribute. We'll also do 10% chance for random. We'll just say for berserk. So this is quite simple. Attributes to add. And this one. Now this one we have to define the available attributes. So available attributes is the NPC's config dot available random attributes, and I'm going to roll a dice to get one of these. If there is one, of course, to a random index. Unity Engine dot random range. We go from 0 to available attributes dot length. So if there's 5 in there, it's going to go 0 to 4 because random range is exclusive on the maximum. And attributes to add. That. Okay, so 10% chance is going to get one of the available attributes, and then another 10% chance for berserk. We can tweak those numbers at some point in the future, set that as a global variable, whatever. Now what we also want to do, do we want to return a list? Where are we using this? Do you know what would be also really cool? Let's just do this. Boolean called has attribute, and we can pass in the empty attribute type. It's just a nice helpful function. Return that, and return that where the attribute is I'll just do it any, I think it's fine. Attribute type. Yep. But also we need to just do attributes.add range attributes. So these are the randomized ones. Randomized.spawn, and these are the inherent from config. It just means that if I need to get all of the attributes for whatever reason, maybe to display it on the UI, that function does it for us. Let's just stick with the list here. Okay. Next thing, we probably want to jump over to the UI. I won't do the actual functionality for it yet. We'll get it appearing underneath the character, or underneath the NPC, which I believe is dialogues. UI. Offensive and defensive attributes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, could do. I don't see why we limit it to 2 though. We just allow 5, 6, 7. Like I say, like Diablo, they've got like is it Hell mode? I think there's one after Hell mode now. Some of them have 7 or 8 stats underneath them. Hi, Rednick. Yeah, Unity. Go ahead, mod it. It's all server authoritative, so yeah, mod it as much as you like, really. I mean, a lot of people in the original game, they would set like the footsteps to red so they could see invisible people easier and stuff. Sometimes there's just no way of protecting against that though. Object info panel, I think it's this. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, this is used by players as well. So if I maybe add one here, this attribute, just for, yeah, just clear print. It was a yellow color. I have to find the right color soon, or maybe just do it myself. Please don't add any anti-cheat. Yeah, I'm not going to add an anti-cheat system now. I'm just making sure it's server authoritative, so you can't dupe items and all that stuff. Let's define this in here. Again, this text could be multiple in future. I mean, you can do multi-line text mesh pro text, but for now, let's just act like there's just going to be one. Interactable. So yeah, this does interactables as well. So like trees, rocks. So if you hover over it, it says tree, or iron ore, or something. So we get the owner. Okay, we've not done guilds yet. We've done oh, we haven't done party member. Party members on here as well, isn't it? But anyway. Actually, let's just do it like this. If it's a type.npc, oh, actually, we could do it like this: is npc, so we get a reference to it. So if it's an NPC, we get the attributes, and we can define the attributes. Otherwise, we want to hide that Attribute. Yeah. So if it's an NPC, oh, we don't want to set it to true if it doesn't have attributes. So how do we define whether it's random or inherent? We could just do this NPC attributes because this is the random ones. Collection. Yeah, I'll just get the first one from here. Eventually, like I say, we can add multiple. Let's just do attribute.text. Game development is a game of patience. Keep up the good work, brother. I will stop by in future to check in progress. I'm not going to mod it. Just like to joke. You know, no, I love modded games. Like some Project Zomboid, one of my favourites. I've got thousands of mods for that game. Modders make games better. Problem is, it's an MMO, so it's a bit difficult to do that. But yeah, thanks for the words. Now, okay, let's do it like this. And then we'll switch. Only because I want to make sure it's displayed properly. Like, I know these ones aren't going to be used in the random, but the way they're worded doesn't look right. So, yeah, we have to define it as a string or something. Right, clairvoyance. And then, where is it? Oh, object attribute. Why doesn't it come up in the IntelliSense? Annoying. Clairvoyant. Break out of that. Boom, 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 boom. And let's add some of the others that might appear. Let's just add the ones that Stone Golem set up for. Just so we can test this. Stone Golem. So poisonous, explosive, and then the 3. Poisonous, explosive, fortified, deflective, and enchanted. So for these ones, the wording's fine. I could just return text from the enumerator there, but at some point there will be localization added in, so yeah, this will change anyway. And this should be true, right? True, false. Because if it's not an NPC, we don't have attributes. You'll have things like titles and stuff for players. So let's test it. I need to build the server. And if this works, then we can add the functionality for it. So the damage reduction logic and stuff like that. Build server. Any time now. How's the music, by the way? Do you guys like it? It was written specifically for Helrift. Okay, let's get into the game and spawn some golems. Server's just coming up. There we go. course, I forgot to actually assign it in the prefab, but that's fine. We can do it while the editor's running. Where are we? Prefabs. Object info panel. Yeah, the good thing about this is we can define it like this, and because we're spawning a new prefab, I should be able to just go out and back in again. Look at that, straight away, clairvoyant. So let's just check that it's not doing it for all of them though. Summon, stone golem. Wow, they're all explosive. Okay, is that even possible? 10% chance. All fortified. How? Yeah, I think that's not quite right. Another one for stone golems should probably be lightning spells. The problem with I've got a problem with air spells though, because we have these energy spells plus the lightning spells. Yeah, just a thought. Yeah, so for some reason it's spawning all of them with attributes, but I think that's fine. At least it's spawning them and it's showing them. Oh, do you know what it could be actually? Clairvoyant is the default text. Yeah, it's got to be this. That should be there. My bad. But I will quickly restart and try it again. It was showing that text field, whether it had an attribute or not, and the default text is clairvoyant. Although there was a lot of fortified and explosive on there, so that's a bit odd. Chance of that being actually... Oh. Oh, is it leaving it open? Possibly? Yeah, the object info panel is shared, so I think we need to default it to false here if there is no attribute. I think what's happening is if one of them's fortified, the rest, the ones after that I select, are all fortified if there is no attribute. So let's quickly reload again. Third time lucky. Yeah, because the only time that text field disappears if it's in a player. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it was only a client-side bug. Oops, did I not copy that? Control-C, Control-V. Me in there? No. Got the sound off because it's got a clash with the background music. Just make that. Listen. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Try a few more. You know, no. Oh, where I'm shooting. Do you know what? I didn't need to look at the code to realise what I did wrong. Should be an else here. Joys of programming. Back in again. Fourth time lucky. Right. Come on. This weird animation glitch, look. I'll have to have a look at that later. You like that slow, do you? Ah, mana. Was there really no... Oh, here's one. Yeah, enchanted. There we go. So it works. Doesn't feel like 10%, but it's working. Okay. So let's add some functionality behind these attributes then. We have a function here, combat helper, I believe. Absorb damage. So we can add some more damage reduction functionality here. Just put the music back on. So ambiance. The way this works currently is that it grabs the absorption amount. The absorption is passed through here. Yeah, so if we should do it at this level because take damage, there's an override specifically for NPCs, and I think maybe we do the damage reduction after the standard absorption, which means tweaking those numbers a bit more. But it's I think it's fine. If attributes count 0, do the same again. Just account for the fact that in the future we'll probably have multiple attributes. So this is physical reduction, so it's weak versus physical. Sorry, strong versus physical is what we're doing for the golems. I was going to write golem there. Now, strong versus physical is what, 25% reduction? So this is 25% reduction after the PA figure. I honestly feel like we just remove PA from NPCs completely and just go by the weaknesses. It would just make things so much simpler. And maybe I'll do that in the future. You can just up their HP to account for the change in absorption values. So absorption. We can just copy this calculation. We do want to make sure that we don't go below 1 HP damage though. So it'd be something like this, and I think this actually happens down here, does it not? No, it doesn't. So strong versus physical is 25. 0.25. You just times it by 0.25. Be cleaner. It would be damage times 0.25. With that, that'd have to be a float. Damage times 0.25, so we're taking away 25%. Yeah, we're reducing it by 25% damage. We're reducing the damage taken by 25%. And we can do the same for ranged. And right. Why did I do that? It should be separate. Probably needs to all be put into its own helper function, but for testing purposes, I think this is fine. So if we're strong versus fire, if we're strong versus air, this one's versus water, this one's strong versus earth. While we're here, we can also do immune to earth. We can just say damage is 0. I probably also want to just check here. Oh, that's an interesting one actually. What we can potentially do here is return a flag to say that they were immune to this attack and actually show the word immune. That would be quite cool. What does this take in? Damage type, damage, last hit. Oh, we could pass this down in the message. Something for the future. We need to do the same here for the other elements. So immune versus water. Immune versus air. And fire. Do you know what? I might actually do this now, to be honest. I don't like... Do we use this anywhere else? Just the NPC and the character. Because otherwise I've got to say, I've got to pass that down when I could just put it in the damage info. Let's just do this for now. Is immune. Now I want to make sure that we flag it appropriately, because if there's another reason why damage can be 0 but they're not immune, then let's just make sure that this flag will only appear if they're immune. So let's add the flag in here. You can see there I did it with miss as well. And oh, notified miss. Why did I do that? I suppose I could add a sound effect. So if we say damage info dot immune, this should say immune. Nice and simple. I'm gonna have to reload the server for this. Maybe we make... Oh, you know what? Maybe we make McGuffin immune. You should be immune to everything. Into fire, into earth, water, air, physical, and ranged. This guy is never going to die now. I know you guys are trying to kill him before. Okay, let's go back in game and have a look. Come in for you, McGaffin. Didn't work. Oh. Of course, because it's an inherent stat, right? We have to iterate through all of the available attributes using the get attributes function we created earlier specifically for this. Okay. Go back. What am I doing? For each attribute in MC, oh sorry, get attributes. Yep, simple change. So we want to go through all of them and see if they've got this attribute. This particular piece of code doesn't care that the NPC can only have one attribute at the moment. Same for up here. Change it to a for each loop. It's melee, ranged, fire, air. Yep. Good. Oops, did I accidentally add the wrong thing? Well, I've got to build the server up again. And let's see if we can kill McGaffin this time. Until now, I actually had no way to protect the NPCs. You could, I mean, they regened quite quick. Technically, you could kill them if you spent long enough time. But now, they should be immune to all attacks. Look at that. Unkillable. Oh, I found myself. Oh, can I still do this? Yeah, they should be immune to invisibility as well, but yeah, that works. So I think let's jump onto a melee champ and try and hit a stone golem. There is a pit down here. Dual wield. This is something that I didn't want to have in the go live, but we can dual wield. Like this. Yeah, that damage is too low, I think, to be regular physical damage. Yeah, I think so. Now, interestingly, one of the things I am thinking of doing, but a bit further down the line, is having different types of physical damage, like crush, stabs, slice, whatever. A crushing attack should work really well on these, like that basically be hammers. But stab and slice would be ineffective. So this system works really well, actually. So explosive we need to do, deflective we need to do, clairvoyant we have to test. Okay. Now the clairvoyant is actually quite easy because I think the code is in here somewhere. It's like for detection, find valid location is obstacle. Could be attacking state. Get suitable target. Oh, this is when it's chasing. What does it do? Oh, it's here. So if during the update loop, it checks if the target has gone invisible. We could say here and oh, do we not? We don't have access to the NPC from the NPC motor. Really? How do I get to the config then? Ah, that's gross. Unboxing like that. I'll have to fix that. That's a problem for future me. Oh, we created this helper function, if you recall, has attributes. Perfect. So what this is saying is if the character is invisible and we don't have clairvoyant, then we go back to idle state. I'm pretty sure this code is isolated nicely, but I'm just going to double check. So idle state, yeah, that's fine. NPC state, that's just the base class, and walking states. When do we do? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is the actual target selection, so we need it here as well. So if we're not clairvoyant and the potential target is invisible, oh, hold on. Oh, this is it's never going to hit this. If they're not the same side, so if because they're wild versus Ares, or if they're summoned as Ares versus Elf, it needs to be like this, right? And if the owner is invisible and we're not clairvoyant, return false. Yeah, actually that fixes a bug as well. I'm a genius. So that's clairvoyant. We probably want to test this. Oh, server needs restarting. Gonna have to summon a bunch of these and wait until. Oh, actually, no, there was a clairvoyant one in the pit, but the pit's been reset. No. 10% chance. It's fine. I mean, in theory, I could add clairvoyant as an inherent stat. Should have thought of about that before I started the server back up, to be honest. Right, back in. What's quiet? Me? I could turn myself up like this. How's that? I'll just turn my mic up. Why do I keep writing stuff? There we go. So, there we go. There's a clairvoyant one. I bet I haven't got any intelligence in real life. I've got enough stats, so I haven't got a wand. Don't even know what invisibility looks like. What's this one? Right, there's the clairvoyant one. I mean, ignore him moonwalking. It's not working though, is it? Clairvoyant. So, alright. Oh, I wonder if my microphone's coming out the wrong thingy. Yeah, it's definitely coming out my headset. It's fine. I've made that mistake before. Anyway, it seems to be losing track of me. If the target is invisible and I'm not clairvoyant, yeah, I think it looks fine, to be honest. Leave me alone, bullies. Stop bullying me. What's this? Owner. Can see. Oh, but isn't this just for the player? Yeah, this is just for the client, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Die. Casting. Can only be these two, NPC state and attacking state. So what's wrong with this then? If the target has invisibility and we don't have the attribute clairvoyance. Oh. Well, that'll be why. Has attribute is only checking the random attributes. So we could do something like include inherent, just in case we want to have one where we're only checking the random ones. So we say all attributes. We've already got this get attributes, and then just change this to this. Attributes. It's plural. That's probably from when we did it earlier, when we didn't have the separation between the two types of attributes. But I think it's important that we can check just the randomized ones as well, because the UI doesn't care about the inherent ones. Could also do calculations in that as well. We do some bestiary, calculating damage based on the type of weapon and stuff, and we can use the has attribute to check if they've got particular attributes assigned. Okay, I did just build it, didn't I? No, I didn't. Just got to build the server again and spawn a bunch more until a clairvoyant one appears. Should work this time. Famous last words. This is the City 1 theme in the background, by the way. This is the Arisden theme, or the replacement for the Ares theme, which could not be called Ares in future because we want to move away from any copywritten material. God, what was the chances? Wishful thinking. Get out. Get out. Not a single one. Explosive. Two explosive ones there, no clairvoyant. I really don't want to create a function just to get what I want. Ah, I've lost the paste. I haven't. Really? Come on. Another oh, there we go. Clairvoyant. So. Whoa. So why is that not working then? I mean, actually, the include inherent doesn't matter because it's not an inherent one anyway. Not that it's actually fully implemented. It should be something like that. Include inherent, get everything. Otherwise, we return. We just return the regular attribute lists, which are the randomized ones. Uh-oh. Run. Target has invisibility. They still chasing me? Are you serious? Bullies. They're all bullies. Target is null if the target is dead. If the target, so if the NPC has paralyzed, can't move. If the target is invisible, and I don't have clairvoyant. If I don't have clairvoyant, and then that's all fine, right? Distance check, chase timer, and then we also have it on here, idle, I think. Nope. Yeah, on here. So is target. Now, I know we don't really need to check this one because I went invisible in front of it while it was targeted on me. So it's definitely this one that's preventing it from working. It really is simple. I don't know why it's not working, to be honest. It's a simple if check. Um, hmm. Guess we debug it. Let's bring this down to here. See what we can get it saying. Yeah, we get the randomized, the inherent attributes. Yeah, it should get them all by default. This is supposed to be simple. Be fun doing the explosive one though. Different levels of explosive would be good. Higher level monsters do more explosive damage. Maybe it scales based on the NPC. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully I don't have to spend 5 minutes summoning one. Come on, can we get lucky? Oh, look at that, clairvoyant. Come over here, my friend. I need to check my logs. No, come here. Wait. Why is that making the short sword sound? Anyway. So the check is actually happening. The check is happening. So it's definitely so including how it's true. We do get attributes which gets all of them, right? Config inherited, or sorry, inherit attributes and then add range attributes. Ah, here's where the issue is. The context issue is adding itself. I could either change the name of that variable or do this dot, and that would ignore the local variable, but rookie mistake. Alright, should work this time. Just like it should have worked the last time and the last time before that. So I think in the OG, the explosion was like fire strike effect. I think we can do something more unique. We'll start with the fire strike one, but eventually change it maybe. Come on. 2 times in a row is pushing it, to be fair. Fortified, fortified. 2 fortified, wow. Explosive. Stop hitting me. Come on, give me a clairvoyant. Poisonous. There we go. Yep, that was it. Clairvoyant one is still following me. No strength. No. Oh, pretty sure you could wield that lower. 182 is the full swing speed. Get off me. I'm happy with that. That's all working now. Obviously, these losers just stand around because they're not part of a pit, and I haven't coded their wandering yet. But if I bunch them up, where's the clairvoyant one gone? There it is. Yeah, so he's going to continue to chase, and all those losers will just stand around doing the moonwalk. Oh, that one's clairvoyant as well. Why isn't this one? Is that a bug? Oh, how weird. See that? Poisonous, poisonous. Weird bug. There's something weird about this guy here. Just this guy. Ooh, I know what that is. So based on the code that I did, if you don't have any attributes, it will clear that field. But it's going to do that because they've got inherent attributes. It's including that in the check. Yeah, that's got to be it. What's the info panel? Here, it's this. Oh, no, hold on. That is correct. For some reason, it's not updating. Let me just add a default thing here. We'll just call this attribute.toString. Oh, no. Actually, don't know. Because the NPCs only got those, right? Clairvoyant, poisonous, explosive, fortified, deflective, enchanted. Yeah. I don't know. I think what's happening is it's not setting the text. I just don't know how it's getting any other attribute on the stone golem when we haven't defined it. So yeah, kind of weird. Available random attributes, yeah. Yeah, not really sure, but we'll see that bug come up because I've, in fact, what I'll do is just for when it comes up, so I remember, just do that. So let's implement another one. I think explosive would be a cool one. Let's have a look at our effect library. Magic explosions. We have fiery explosion, which looks like this. So I'm pretty sure this is used by fire strike and fireball. Fire strike uses fire explosion, fireball, fire explosion. Yeah, I haven't done one for like separate one. So maybe we can use this for now, but we'll create another copy of it. Explosive NPC. Let's bring this out and go into NPCs. So we want to spawn this on death. Where do we put it? We have an effect manager on the. We only want this on the client. Effect manager, maybe it's in the client. Yeah, visual effect manager, so we can put it in here. Oh, hit effect prefab. What's that? Let's call this NPC, and we'll call this NPC explosive prefab. Oh, censor it, censor it. Get rid of that. Naked character. Don't worry, I'll blur that in post. What was I doing? Visual effect manager. Explosive. So now we've got a reference to that. I can go and grab that whenever I need it. And let's jump over to a die. Okay, so I think it goes here and then notify die. There we go. Notify die. Ah, it's on the owner, so we have to check here. If owner type is NPC and let's unbox it. If owner, if this is NPC, NPC. If NPC dot has attribute explosive, then we want to spawn that visual effect. If visual effect manager explosive prefab. We'll instantiate. We don't really need a parent, I don't think. Position's going to be here. Let's just define it anyway. And rotation, quaternion identity. I think it's that simple, really. Let's try it out. And that is a client-side thing as well. Nothing to do with the server, so we can just load up the server and load up the client, and the server doesn't need to be changed. There's my scene. Get rid of those naked people. Okay. Can't wait for this logo to change. Go with mage because it's easier to kill them. I think there were some explosive ones from earlier, so we can just hunt them down and see what happens. Oh, berserk! Oh, because he's berserked, of course. I forgot I added that. Where's the explosive ones? Poisonous. That was what was causing that bug. Berserked isn't a natural status. Fortified. Explosive. Right, here we go. There. Yeah, it works. It's not a very impressive explosion, but it works. Whoa. Just flew at me. Getting some lag. Yeah, he's berserked as well. Or supposed to be berserked. I should really code that. Ugh. Clipboard. Oh, let me out. Berserked. Explosive. Oh, that's summoned 3 explosive ones earlier. Get off me. Get off me. More. Oh, no, no. Whoa! What the hell has happened? There are some weird NPC things going on right now. Yeah. That is weird. It's when they all just freak out when I come out of Invisi. Check them in a sec. But can I get an explosive one? Come on, people. Oh my god. They did it again, look. That was so weird. They've desynced from the server position of the NPC. What's the chances I don't get a single explosive one after summoning so many? Come on, give me one. I get more damage. Give item Ring of Hydromancer. Yeah, look at that damage. You know, it would have been quicker just to write a function to summon one. Gonna be all night. Keep using the wrong enter key. Oh my god, finally. Yeah. After all that, and it was so anticlimactic with that pitiful explosion. Now we can increase the size and stuff of the explosion while we're here. We don't have to actually restart. I mean, we can just scale it up, but maybe... What's the nebulous smoke? Yeah, I want that smoke to be bigger. Boom! Look at that. Sparkles. Maybe make that a bit bigger. Double in size. What's the wave? Oh, that's that halo that comes out. Yeah. Points. They're pretty big anyway. Beams. Very keen on those beams, but they're already big enough. Oh no, let's try and summon another one. Oh, here we go again. Just when I want them. Oh, that ring is so strong. Maybe a bit too strong. Poisonous, enchanted. Oh, froze myself. Sorry, you've probably seen through a, not through a magnifying glass. This is better. Oh, that's interesting. The Gaffin's got a bit of tidying up to do on this island. Come on. Zerked. Explosive, let's see what this does. Oh, nice. Maybe I'll use a spell that doesn't do so much, so many effects. I mean, it's bigger. I think it's fine. I think we'll leave it like that. Explosive is done. Well, it's not done. It's the visual effect is done. We also have to do some AoE damage. So we're going to do this over here on the server side. Drop loot, remove NPC. We'll do this. We are an NPC, so that's fine. Don't need to do this check. This is available within this class. So if it has the explosive, we're not doing visual effects here. This is on the server. So we want to do some AoE. Now, I suppose we could hard code it for now. We could probably cast a spell, you know. But then we won't be able to manipulate the values so much. We have cast available. No, let's unleash. No, we don't have either of those. Yeah, maybe let's just do it in like directly in here. We have magic helper, magic strike locations. Could use that. The good thing about that is that it checks the height of the mesh as well to make sure it doesn't. Make sure it hits everyone at the right height. We use this for the strike stuff that I did this week. We do strike count of 1. Source and target is the same place. We're on this map chunk. Range. Now range is what? What is range? Oh, range. Yeah, that prevents us from going. That's fine. That doesn't matter. Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. But hit position should be nice and normalized. Now, how do we cast a spell? Or do we not cast a spell? I just, yeah, I didn't really want to duplicate code here, but unleash? Where's unleash? Oh, maybe it's under the motor. Yeah, it is. We could cast a spell by spell ID at the hit position. That makes things so much easier. Hold on, can it convert? Oh. Yeah, we could have like a hidden spell that you can't actually buy from the shop or anything for this, or just use Fire Strike. I think using Fire Strike is fine. Which I think is just called Fire-Strike. Now, I have a feeling that Unleash is going to deal with the client and server side. Yeah, see, this is the problem. There's so much more junk here. Yeah. So is this going to cause a problem? Is spell ready is going to be true? This doesn't matter because at this point the NPC will be dead. This cooldown doesn't matter. This might cause a problem because if an NPC is casting, not that they can cast yet, but if they are casting and die as they're casting, this could prevent the, because of the cooldown, this could prevent explosive from running. Mana cost might be an issue if the dead NPC doesn't have mana. Yeah, this kind of gets a bit ugh. Maybe we just have the code in. We can refactor later. Otherwise, I'll put something in, I'll forget about it, and I won't know why it's broken. So yeah, so we could cast. So we could run this directly, like we do here. Or run Unleash server, but then we'd need to have access to a spell, which we don't want to really want to do. So we could just do motor.magic attack this, which is the spell. Oh, it's a spell as well. Oh, this really sucks. But yeah, I mean, the spell has a definition for the like AoE effect and stuff, so maybe we have to. We'll just have to get the spell manually. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess because I'd really want to refactor it, but for now, let's just Magic Manager. Let's just get the spell here. Fire Strike, and then for the target. Target is going to be this. So now let's just do that null check. Get the spell, magic attack. Now magic attack deals with the AoE stuff and also deals with, ensures it runs the take damage command. I mean, doesn't really need to add experience, does it? Yeah, that'll just be ignored. Only target to take damage. Yes, yes, yes. It deals. Oh, multipliers. We've got to know. See, this is where things get a little bit more complicated because the bonuses scale with the stats of the mob. The only other thing I can think is potentially having a separate function called like explode or something, which is a lot more simple because there's things like this is in building. I mean, there should not be mobs in the building, but if it's in the building and it's explosive, maybe allow it to explode and deal damage. I think that's the cleanest way. Will still allow us to pass in a spell, I think. In fact, we don't even need the target, it's just this location. Target map chunk. I don't know why this check's in here, to be honest. I think that's just if you're on the edge of the map and you try and shoot magic outside of the playing area. I kind of need to get position here because otherwise I won't get the correct height. Oh, actually I will because the NPC is at that height. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we want to do the regular damage check. No, we'll just do AoE. Get owners at position, transform the position. If not owner can damage that, continue, that's fine. This is where I think we need to remove this because multipliers are just non-existent. Damage multipliers, yeah. Technically, this won't actually run. Actually, it will, and it could get really bad, to be honest, because an NPC could have thousands of HP. Yeah, it's got to go. We'll get the base damage though. Roll the base damage. This isn't needed. There's no experience. Take damage. If the spell has a frozen, I mean, this could be quite cool because you could have something explode with a frozen effect. I mean, this is kind of getting into the territory of traps like HP World had. I think maybe just let's remove it for now. Keep it really, really simple. I'm going to move this over to the NPC motor. I don't think the player will ever have to explode. Oh, yeah, they will. They will, because we have this idea of corpse exploitation. It's not what it sounds like. What it means is that a necromancer style build can exploit a corpse for energy, mana, power, spells. So potentially that corpse could explode. That's something that I want to do in the future. So yeah, let's leave this on the owner motor, which means it's shared by NPCs and players, and this could definitely be improved in future. So that should deal with that. Get fire strike, explode. I mean, this could probably be a global variable. NPC. Let's call this NPC explosive spell. And yeah, I feel like that will change in future, but for now, that keeps it controlled by global settings. Cool. And also we can just remove this. Nice and simple now. Explode. Transform the position. Yes. Has AoE damage. AoE range. Can damage. I think in OG, explosive didn't hurt other NPCs. I actually don't think that's a big deal, really. I mean, if one of the stone golems explodes and hurts the other stone golems, I think that's a nice touch, nice little additional bonus damage to have when hunting. But yeah, question is, I mean, you could have it explode into poison as well. Poisons all nearby players. Speaking of poison, let's do that one before we test this as well. So this will be under NPC, probably attack. Nope. NPC motor. Attack. Yeah, attack. Now we can just copy this straight out of the player, out of the character. Character motor. Poison. Yes, well, not a straight copy. So serve is owner server. Attacking, we do the cooldown routine. Where do we do it? We do it after everything, don't we? Notify attack. Maybe do it up here, that makes sense. So if has attributes poisons. Now what poison damage do we want to give? This is again another one for here that can maybe eventually be scaled based on the difficulty of the monster, but let's go with like PD30 or something. I see these as all temporary as we scale up and improve the system. Globals. Own a target. Why haven't we got that? Okay, because we're doing a hit check here, so we've got to do it under there. Okay. Take damage, has attribute poisonous. And if we don't have poison already, add the poison effect. What's that duration? 120 seconds, that's fine. And then add effects to the owner. Yeah, simple. So that's poison. Let me just check my list. Poison is done. Clairvoyant is done. Explosive is done. Inherents are done. Maybe we try some of the cool stuff like Vampiric and Zealous. That'd be nice to work on. regeneration. That one's a bit more difficult. NPCs don't heal at the moment. And if we do let them heal, then what? Do we update the clients regularly? Like a fast regeneration would be like healing per second or every few seconds. But let's see. Explosive and poisonous. Let's wait for the server to start up. Why is that? No, a little bug there. Oh, look at that explosive straight away. And this is good because I wanted to do melee. Might take a while to kill it, but I got nothing. Pure warrior. Click, 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 click. Don't kill me before I get my stats, please. Stop. Okay. Give me that hammer. So they're anti-physical, means I do really low damage. Right, explosive. I should see some damage numbers from fire damage. Yeah, minus 10 fire damage there. That works, very nice. Do I have resist? I don't, it was just low damage. I mean, fire strike isn't a great skill. And also it's not really scaling either. Let's try and get a poisonous one to spawn. I was doing that moonwalk thing again. I thought I fixed that. Come on. That sound is very repetitive. I might have to improve that. Just going on to the mage should be easy to kill him. Rather than just spawning a bunch, I'll just kill them like normal. What hotkey? 8. God, so much damage. Deflective. No, don't want deflective. I'll just help myself again. Fortified. Come on, I want the poisonous one. I have no mana. Back to this again, just selling a bunch. Uh-oh. No, let me out. Any of these poisonous? I'm about to kill myself here to get out. Sect. Enchanted. Poisonous. Poisonous. Come on, not this again. Come on, I should never do the lottery. 10% chance I'll get a berserked one. Oops. Another berserk one. Oh, what a joke. Another berserk one. Effective, explosive. I'll kill that one just for fun. Boom. Yeah, so it did fire damage to the other golem there. That's a nice little touch, I guess. Could cause a cascading effect, which would be quite cool. Oops. Come on, poison. Oh. This feels quite strong. That strong's lightning. I almost blew my eardrums. What? Okay. No. Poison. No poison. This is the entire stream, lads. Just me summoning golems over and over again. No. Clairvoyant. I've had so many of them now. Get off me. Just when you want one. Oh, I just really need to. I need to just write a command. Ah, poisonous, finally. To clear all the junk around it. Just. Don't want to wait for the regions. Baited. Right, this guy should poison me. Poison me. Yeah. After all that. Let's give myself a bunch of status effects. I'm on fire. I'm on fire and frozen. Should that be allowed? Maybe not. I don't know. One fire damage. Wow, that was pathetic. Oh, hold on. That's wrong. Firefield, where are you? Firefield. Yeah, scaling. It's a scaling attribute. I think that's why. Yeah, I'll have to sort that. I haven't actually set any scaling for the fire effect. Wow, I'm really poisoned this long. Oh, there we go. I'm cured. Pants? Oh my... forgot they dropped pants. It was invisible though. 2 DR, plus 2% gold drop, plus 4% physical. I'm complaining. That is a pretty nice pair of pants. I do say so myself. I got more pants. They're invisible on the floor. Fire absorption. Let's try them out. 23, 21, 21, 22. Put these on. Hardly do anything. 5%. Ugh, sucks. Any more pants? More pants. Oh, they're all broken as well. Look. The drop with low endurance. Gold. I mean, these ones are good. Get more gold. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, that works well. So let's check my list. What else we got? Clairvoyant, done. Explosive, done. Poisonous, done. Vampiric, Zealous, Fortified, Reflective. I think I'll leave the healing ones for now. Barbed might be quite good. Fortified, Reflective, and Enchanted. Those ones should scale actually. I was going to make them scale over here. Take damage. Yeah, take damage. I was going to have them reduce. I was going to have them stack with the inherent skills or the inherent values. So I could set this value up. Because fortified, deflective, and enchanted are 25%. Oh, we also didn't do weak versus either, so let's do that. I feel like we need to bring them all out into this second switch down here, and then have something like float damage modifier. Or maybe it's got to be ×1, isn't it? If we're doing ×1f, it's yeah. So if we have a damage modifier, we can then stack all of the attribute values, and that would work separate to the standard absorptions anyway. So let's move all of this. So this is physical. Or meaning, as we call it. And then ranged, because this is the standard damage calculation here. Which deals with PA, which NPCs do have. They do have PA. But I think the attributes should stack separately. I know I don't like doing it. I know I don't like doing it this way for players, but I think it's fine for NPCs. It's quite a simple thing. Their calculations aren't that difficult. They don't have weapons and things. Right, so the damage modifier, so basically this bit needs to go down here. Times damage modifier. Make sure those conversions happen, because damage is an integer. Convert damage to a float, so times it by the multiplier, then convert it back to an integer. We want to make sure damage doesn't go below 0. Yeah, minimum damage is 1. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so if it's strong versus physical on my list here is minus 50%. I feel that's kind of high. So the damage modifier here is 0.5F. Strong versus ranged is damage modifier 0.5F. If we're strong versus fire, it's damage modifier equals 5F. If it's immune, then it is 0F, because a number times 0 is 0. And damage modifier. Do you know? Maybe because we're going through the loop, we need to do this accumulative as well. So maybe we do this. So minus equals minus equals minus equals. If immune is a bit different. If it's immune, it needs to break out of the loop, I think. Yeah, I think we need to break out the loop like this. I mean, to be honest, we don't even need that. We could just do this and say, if not is immune, take damage. The death check can be in the immune block as well. Oh. No, actually, because so this is the trigger that triggers the NPC to react to taking damage from a player. So if a player hits an NPC, can you stream Factorio factory development next? You should see the state of that factory now. I think I need to check it here if not is immune. The reason is because even if it's immune, it should still trigger a reaction to taking damage and then attack the player that damaged them. So yeah. We need for this here. I think if the target is immune, it doesn't pull experience from the experience pool as well. And this is unnecessary. Damage is 0. You're actually like 60% quiet. People keep saying that. I don't know why. Can you hear the music? Microphone. How's this? Spare? I might be too loud now. Yeah, I'll get it right one day. Can you hear my beautiful voice now? Bit more, homie. I got you, fam. Where's my settings gone? Closed them. 1 second. How's that? Let me turn it down. How's that? Damage modifier 0.5F on all of these. Good, now my slime. Is that some new young person slang or something? My slime. Was that Helrift slang? Right, melee, strong versus physical, strong versus ranged, strong versus fire, immune versus fire, strong versus air, immune, strong versus water, immune, strong versus earth, immune. So if we're not immune, then it runs normal calculations. We do a death check separately, only because we want to make sure that we react to damage taken. Also, that if statement switch for each switch. Yeah. Switch for each switch. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, I mean, this will eventually be in its own helper function, but I'm just trying to visualize it at the moment. But this is what this is doing is it's going through all the attributes on an NPC and calculating modifiers. Technically, it uses sum, but these values here don't exist anywhere, so I'd have to store them somewhere and just sum them. So yeah, I'll refactor it at some point. No, I won't. Spoiler alert. Is immune, it's true, and same ranged is immune. Yeah, so let's go through the other ones, the weak versus, where weak versus physical. The damage modifier, we want to add 0.25. So adding 25% damage there. Same with range damage and all of the fire attributes as well. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I will definitely hire an intern to make the code more readable. Definitely. And we have one more, I think. Alright, yeah, fortified, deflective, and enchanted. Enchanted actually works on all attributes equally, and they're all 25%. So this is actually a reduction. Technically, if you have strong versus physical and fortified, you get a minus 75% damage reduction when you attack them. So yeah, that might possibly need some tweaking. Range is its own one called deflective, and then all of these are enchanted. We don't have. I didn't bother doing separate ones for the different elements. It's just it's global MA for the monsters. I did the immune for physical and ranged. Yep. So we have 4 left. So we did clairvoyant, we did explosive, although the explosive damage kind of sucks. So I might create a separate spell just for that. Poisonous, that's done, that's PD 30. So it does 30 poison damage every 12 seconds. We did fortified, deflective, and enchanted just there. We did weaks, we did strongs, we did immunes. So we've got these ones. These are new ones. These are ones that same sort of statuses we had in Helrift World, which I think are quite cool and adds a bit of variety to mobs. And lastly, I need to do Berserk. Berserk is a bit of a special case. In fact, let's remove it over here. Get attributes. Because it's ended up on here first of all. Alright, we didn't put Berserk on the Stone Golem, but it's got 10% chance to be Berserk on the spawn. It works slightly differently because we use the status effect manager rather than the attribute system. So I think maybe we do this. NPC.get attributes, and we use this. Didn't we have a parameter here? We did put on the other function. We want to ignore in fact, why don't we just do this? Ignore status effects. So if ignore status effects, we want to remove any status effect attributes. Thank you. IntelliSense, you know exactly what I was doing there. Yeah, I think this is the way to do it. I'm going to set this to false. And because we want to include that everywhere else, I think. And we're going to go true, false. Sorry, true, true. To ignore status effects. So this is not going to include Berserk. Okay, the first one. So this is the one that was erroring out, the Berserk one. Berserk in Helrift actually had the word berserked after the NPC name, but I don't think it's needed necessarily. No, what am I saying? People are going to go, why is that NPC orange? They need to know it's berserked, I think. Yeah, all right. Let's right. So they're berserked. It's no longer going to come up on the object info panel. Makes it look silly. I mean, it technically could be like that rather than being next to the name like an Helrift, but yeah, maybe we'll see. If we initialize the NPC on the server, I think we probably need to set the status effect manager here. Can we even berserk monsters? Oh, damn it. I'll see if I can get away with it. Berserk. No. Made a change. If has attributes. Berserked. Status effects manager. Add status effect. Let's copy it from here. Now we don't have an ability to set permanently berserked. There's always a duration. And there is no caster, I believe. Yeah, this one's a bit difficult because Berserk is now scales based on magic, I believe. Oh, but that's done by duration. So as long as we can set permanent duration, I think it'll be fine. Permanent, permanent. Yeah, that's correct. Permanent. Now this is quite simple. If we can just say if permanent turn false. This is all handled by the server already. This runs during the update. And we can just say the duration actually doesn't matter. We could just put an arbitrary figure in there, say berserk that is permanent, it's true, and then add status effect to the NPC. I wish it's this simple, but you know something's going to go wrong. So let's test it. Build failed. Why? What did I do? Midnight. Let's try and finish this one, and then the last ones are the ones that deal with health stats like regeneration, vampiric, and zealous. I'm going to do them offline. I guess I'll do barbed offline as well. If we can just get this last bit working for the berserked. And I also need to look at those NPC movement issues again. Oh, I broke it. They're actually weak against water. If I set them weak versus water, it's because I included inherent. I'm so dumb. Oh, I did. They are weak versus water, which is why Blizzard is so strong against them. Whoa, so much damage. Come on. I need a berserked one. Oh, that's what I was going to check actually. Can you actually berserk enemies? No, you can't. So I haven't actually coded that yet. Yeah. Owner.body doesn't exist. Owner.body is a human body. Body manager, right? Yeah. Because that deals with equipment. Let's fix this silly bug that I left in there. Yeah, this should be false. We want to not include inherit, and we also want to ignore status effects. So that works. That will fix that issue. Second issue is this, and this is going to take a bit of my brain. Yeah, invisibility won't work on monsters either. Interestingly, that is owner. Owner body is a body manager. Yeah, this is a bit difficult. So one owner is, it can be an NPC or a character, and they inherit from the owner class. Body manager is there for characters and NPCs, but only NPCs that are human and therefore have a body manager like McGaffin. So I could probably go and berserk McGaffin and make. I know I can make him invisible. Not that you should be able to, but I've done it before. So this doesn't work for all cases. Now the body renderers. Oh, maybe we could probably make this. We could probably just do it in here, to be honest. Let's do this renderer, body renderers. Because at the end of the day, it's just renderers, and we can get the renderers from anywhere. Like if we look at owner, we have body manager, but we also have mesh container, and I think mesh container is fine. If we look at like a slime or something, meshes, NPC mesh container. Yeah, in fact, mesh container is the parent body container. So yeah, we could use that. If we just do this, if owner body null, then we're going to check body. We're also going to check equipment because the armors and stuff will change to orange or go invisible as well. And that it's only relevant if the body exists. Because only humans have bodies. So we could do that. In fact, we could put this up here like this and not duplicate the code. Body renderers. And I suppose we could just do if body renderers no. We'll do this. I mean, this is only for equipment really because there is no equipment. Slime don't have equipment. Yep, and there's method to this madness. The reason is because invisibility changes the shader to a transparent shader, and Berserk has to multiply with that shader or the standard shader if you're not invisible. Otherwise, you get all sorts of alpha depth issues, which is why I had to change shaders. Especially when there's like lots of alphas laid on top of each other. Okay, let's try that. Now, in theory, that should work without any server changes, because the NPC is becoming berserked. It's just that it can't show a visual effect at the moment. Berserk. Yeah, look at that. Why are they huddling up like those zombies from I Am Legend? Well, let's see if we can get one to summon with it. Summon Stone Golem. Where's this one? Let me out. One of these has got to be berserked. Maybe it's just not spawning correctly. Oh, I'm so dead. No, let me out. Still frozen after death. Another bug. Note that down. So we're running that code in initialized server somewhere. Where is it? Has attribute. Include inherent. Yes. Get all attributes. Get attributes. We are ignoring. No, we're not. Ignore status effects is false, which is the default value. So yeah, that's correct. That should have it. Include inherent. I don't think that matters. So it should have berserk. This source is this. Is it erroring by chance? Nope. Is it because maybe add effect? That just runs all the coroutines. In theory, like if it gets added, I'd expect this to run on the client, and the client sees it. But I guess debug. Did I even refresh the server? Maybe I didn't. I'll try that as well. see. Just gotta watch the log. I just put an A into the log. Stone golem. Right, one of these is berserked, so it's not working. It's getting there, but it's not pushing the visual effect down. What I'm going to try is TP traveler zone. So if I go back, it's in the city. They're all freaking out. Yeah. I wonder if this is a problem for no, it's not. It can't be the body manager because we know it works as this works. But if I do that and I TP up, if I do this quickly, don't get me the city hole. Are they still zerked? Yeah, they are. So it's not a problem with me losing reference to it. In fact, these should go off soon. Default is like 50 seconds or something. Zerk. 40 seconds, yeah, so they're going off. So it's not a problem with observing the player, observing the NPC, and it's definitely hitting this. Could it be sensitive? Is permanent? Let's have a look at add status effect. Status effects to add, and then if I go to update, if it is expired, yeah, so it only removes it if it has expired. If it is permanent, return false. Debuff. I mean, it should be buff. Not that that is used at the moment, but see overload. Oh, just default constructor. Okay. So we know this runs. This is fine. That does do berserk because this runs also. Create the status effect. Could it be the motor's not ready yet? Server is initialized. It is initialized. Or is it? Maybe it's not. Because initialized server runs before it gets spawned, right? That's why. Yeah, that's why it's running before spawning. So we could just do this. If NPC has attribute here, in fact, we could just, if this has a server block, yeah, look, if it's server initialized, let's, after we notify the client that the NPC has been added, then we add the berserk effect. I think what's happening is that function relies on the server being initialized for this NPC, and initialized server doesn't actually, it initializes it for the server, whereas the status effect manager happens after server initialization. It's just an order issue. Yeah, the reason is because the status effect manager has to have the server running in order to tell the clients that it has received the berserk effect or the invisibility effect. Okay, server's up. Let's boot up the client. Start. All this time I've been running away when I can just go invisible. There we go. It's working. I can't get out though. Yes, this dude is berserked. Cool. One last thing before I finish up here, I'm just going to check that berserk damage is set up for NPCs. Calculate damage multiplier. So if the owner.motor.statesfake manager that has berserk damage multiplier plus equals 1. Double damage plus 100% on the damage multiplier. And I'm pretty sure this runs on character and NPC. Oh. Maybe it doesn't. The NPC motor attack. Here we go. Damage is really basic. NPC.config damage roll. So it rolls that dice, which I don't like. So the question is this is probably no good. Yeah, I mean this is generic to owner, but realistically the base damage only works for players' characters. Yeah, this only works for players. So let's ignore the base damage. But let me just mark it as base damage. Let's look at damage and multiplier. Ideally, damage and multiplier needs to work with NPCs as well. What damage we doing melee? Damage type. Oh, I'm going mad. We don't need to spell. I think. Yeah, that's fine. Standard attack. They don't do crits or anything. So realistically, So these stat effectors are all the game where we moved all the game formulas over. Yada 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 yada. Yeah. Melee damage. We've got these stat effectors. If it's a character, it checks the equipment stats as well. And we've got modifiers for dash and crit, which don't apply because it's an NPC. The only thing I've got to check is this, because technically NPCs do have strength and finesse. I don't know if we actually set the values though. No, we don't. So that means that they should all be 0, and therefore those stat effects don't apply. So it ignores all that, ignores all that, ignores all that. And then if it has effect Berserk, it does double damage. So sharing the damage multiplier code with characters now, which is great. I do need to do it for the damage roll here though. I think the easiest way, and I'll have to do this later on, is to pass the roll into here, because weapon has a dice roll, fist attack has a dice roll, and NPCs have their own dice roll. I hesitated because there is potential that I'll be removing dice rolls altogether, but we'll see. Something that I wanted to do after I did it with the magic attacks, which is to make the damage more consistent and predictable. Dice rolls didn't allow that. Right, last test. Let's see if the double damage is working. At this current time, NPCs don't shoot magic, so we don't need to worry about that for now. But we'll have the same issue where we have to make sure that none of these effectors cause some weirdness with NPCs. These functions within the combat helper need to be agnostic to the owner. Get stat effector is agnostic because it just checks stats, and these stats should all be 0 for NPCs. This is the game formulas where all of the magic and all of the crucial calculations run, which are also used by the character screen. So that those numbers are consistent. Thanks for blowing my eardrum. What's the problem? I don't know why Unity does this all the time. What? Oh, NPC motor. It took me to the wrong one. It keeps adding these editor things which don't work in build mode. Pretty sure it's a bug in version 6 because I never used to have that. Alright, final test. Hopefully this is all good and I can go to bed because it's late. Here we go. Just gotta get a Berserk one to spawn. Oh, look at that. Almost first try. Right, I need you to get away. Stop moonwalking. Alright, hit me, daddy. 38. 35. 33. 20. Yeah, looks like it's working. I'm going to kill you with my dual wield staff and dagger. Got to fix that as well. I'm going to be like Gandalf. Let's have a staff and a claymore. Oh yeah. Yeah, that anti-physical is strong against mages with weapons. Get used to my own hotkeys. My book on. Air damage. Ah, no wonder. Jesus. Pew pew. Cool. I think we'll leave it there, guys. I think we got a lot done today. Framework's in place. I've got a few more status effects I want to add. And more to come, really. I mean, it opens up so many possibilities. We could do it like Diablo, where you could have multiple status effects and multiple attributes per NPC. But the randomization would definitely make it a lot more, give it a lot more variety. I think in the OG we also had some rewards for killing monsters with attributes and status effects. Maybe it was more gold drop, maybe it was more experience, I can't really remember. But we could do that as well. Maybe we could add, I know that Olympia has like elite mobs or something, and they've got like crazy amounts of HP, and they hit you like a truck. Could go down that route as well. The way I saw it in Diablo 3 was you had the sort of blue glow and the orange glow around the strong ones, and they had all sorts of crazy abilities. We could do that. We've got immune to now, which if I just go to Traveler Zone, I've made McGuffin immune to all types of damage. Inherent immunity. So if I try to hit him now, get a bit closer. Oh. I mean, he's immune, but the damage text doesn't come up anymore. Let me quickly check that. I think I must have broken it. Take damage. Yeah, because of this. Yeah, I mean, the word immune comes up a bit like when you miss now. Miss, immune, and then damage numbers make the game feel a lot more responsive. In the OG, when you swung and miss, it didn't say anything. You made the sound of you swinging. That's about it. But immunities also come up as well. I don't know if we could also show like resistances as well, like weak against, strong against, immune's done. Maybe. I wanted to put it into like a bestiary, like some sort of book that players can collect pages for each monster, and they can, they will be filled out showing weak against, strong against. That was the idea around those attributes. But yeah, last attributes to do, which I'll do offline and post in the media section this week, is Barbed, which reflects 10% damage back to the attacker. Regeneration, where the NPC heals over time. I actually need to add the mechanic for NPCs healing because currently only characters heal. Vampiric, which drains HP, deals HP and then heals it back. We might have to put a cap on that, maybe 25% of the damage, or just a solid, or maybe 25% if they've got over a certain amount of damage, just to make sure that the low-level mobs can heal up effectively, because 25% of Slime's HP is going to be 0.1% or something. And then Zealous will have draining mana on attack, so it would actually drain mana from your character. Zealous is something that I implemented in Helrift World along with Vampiric on weapon stats. So having these two brings a lot of nostalgia back for me, and I think they're quite effective weapon stats as well. If you're fighting against a mage that has a lot of MP regen, then pull your Zealous weapon out and smack him with it. Still their stuff. Vampiric again. If you want to play like a tanky role. What do they call them? Those holy warriors. What are they called? But yeah, you could use Vampiric. These sort of things would be very effective on dual wield as well, because you'll do Vampiric twice. Swing one weapon, swing the other. Heal up really quickly. Like a bruiser build, I guess. Yeah, everything else on this list is done, and we'll finish up there. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, and keep up to date on the Discord. I do media posts every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Yesterday I did about 4, showing all sorts of stuff that I've been working on as I'm working on lots of different areas of the game every week. And yeah, I'll keep you posted with when we go towards the open beta. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.